Being Pittsburgh, we love our native Jeff Goldblum here. And I know you didn't have too many scenes with him, but I was wondering what he was like on set. Did you have a lot of interaction with him?
Oh, Jeff was such a blast on set. I will never forget how funny he was in real life. Anytime I'd ever worked with an actor before in a movie, if they were practicing their lines, they'd usually do it pretty quietly to themselves and just be very discreet, but not Jeff. He was just larger than life about everything. So he was sitting next to me, I think we were in the helicopter at the time, and he was just literally right next to me. He's got his lines, and he's just speed reading them out loud, just in the only way that Jeff Goldblum can do this.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff was fantastic. Like you said, not a lot of time with him, but when we were in that helicopter, it was like blue screen. It was blue screen back then, not green screen. And we were just sitting there bored for a while, so he started coming up with these little bits to do for when Steven came back around. And so I just remember, I remember one of them very vividly, where it's just this little bit where he would just be like, Joe, those people, they look like ants down there. And I was supposed to respond, those are ants, you idiot, we haven't taken off yet. He would just try to make it fun for us, and I think he was, what you see is what you get with that guy, for sure.
Ariana, you mentioned you have children. I don't know if you do also, Joseph.
I don't know either.
You did say dad joke, so I didn't know you were also a dad.
No, just old.
Have your children watched the movie, and what do they think of it?
My children are 9 and 6 years old, so I am so close now. I'm just on the verge of letting them watch the movie. I'm just waiting for them to be old enough so they're not going to have nightmares. But they've seen clips of it, and they were so excited that Mommy's in this movie, and they can't wait.
Well, thank you for being part of the movie. When I was a kid, I watched it more than 20 times. I still watch it today. So, my question is: what are impacted? What are impacting your life right after the movie, coming back to school, the treatment, and all that? And there was also, of course, a lot of positive things, and also some challenging things that happened throughout your life right after you guys did the movie.
Yeah, it was weird. Suddenly, literally everybody knew who I was. And for a kid, that's really odd. And I was actually a shy kid, very shy. I loved making movies. I felt very comfortable on set, but I didn't like getting recognized. I didn't like going to a restaurant and kind of not being able to just eat without everybody looking at me, or kind of literally getting chased down the street by fans and things. Kids. Yeah, school was a little weird. They already knew I was an actor at that point because I started really young, so that was kind of whatever. But it took some getting used to. But I mean, that's part of the job. Even as a kid, I kind of had to recognize that if I am gonna do what I love, that's gonna be a part of it. And as I got older, I grew into myself a little more, and now I'm much more comfortable with it.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point that you brought up, that you kind of accept what you get with being famous. If you're going to be an actor and you have the potential to be famous and it happens to you. So I was never really one to complain about it. Like, oh, woe is me, this is so horrible, what's happening to me? Because it was really not a very terrible problem to have in a larger scheme of things, but yet it was very odd, very disconcerting to a young person to encounter that, I think, growing up in it.